When everybody first went in, we walked in there, we looked around, I counted 22 people in there.
Wow.
22 people standing inside the house.
How did it feel, like
That's why we ran out of it.
But the fact that you can clown car 22 people in should be on their website. Right?
Exactly. It was actually pretty okay.
Maximum capacity, 22 people.
22 friends.
22 friends, yeah. Close friends.
So the way the power works here is there's a 960 watt solar array on the roof, and that charges the batteries, like these big off-grid deep cycle batteries. And then those basically power everything in the house, with one or two exceptions. So you could go totally off-grid if you wanted to, using only propane heat, and then using a compost toilet. That would be the two changes to kind of zero energy. You'll notice the theme, a lot of the stuff comes out of like the marine worlds and the RV worlds. Like people figure out how to live micro, years ago. We're just kind of applying it to like a residential setting.
Having something that's separate from my living space, having an art studio or a music studio, because I'm both a musician and an artist. It's nice to be able to leave your stuff set up and not worry about the little kids getting into the paints and or making a mess that needs to be a mess for a while. So I've always loved the idea of having a studio, and when I lived in other places I've had a separate art studio and music studio. But in DC it's just, you can't really afford to do that. But I went to the website for Studio Shed, and I love the way they look. They're beautiful, and they're not that out of control price-wise. I mean, the price of renting a studio space, an artist studio space, it would pay for itself in 2 years. Laura, my wife here, is also a very environmentally conscious person. She can't help it. She went to Oberlin, and she likes the idea of us being more self-sufficient, being off the grid a little bit, and doing good if we're going to do something. The city is where you live, and the house is just where you keep your stuff. It becomes the George Carlin bit, it's where I keep my stuff, and that's kind of how we live.